So this movie is about friendship, sex, and aging. Can you talk about in your journey what you learned about these things and what you would tell your children about it?
Well, I mean, what I learned about it was really that being having friends is essential, particularly at this time in your life, because they really are. You don't have your mother and father. You need friends to help guide you through the hard times, and that's exactly what it was like for me and my character.
Yeah, I love that it glorifies women's friendship because I think that's vital for all women to have friends that they can talk to about anything, and if times are tough, they can turn to their women friends, and the fact that it expands women's sexual lifespan is, I think, good for women, and that they don't feel like they have to roll it up when they're 60 or whatever.
And what was the best advice you got from your mother?
The best advice, what do you think, for yours? I mean, she wasn't really an advice giver, which was really something that really I appreciated. She was a listener. And I remember coming home all the time after school with my problems and my dilemmas, and she was always supportive. And she always encouraged whatever I was interested in. And so for me, listening made the difference. She wasn't an advisor. She was free for me anyway.
My mother didn't give much advice, but she did tell me that I learned to write thank you notes. I learned to be thoughtful of others, to give presents that were not just objects, but that related to the person you were giving them to, and that had something to do with them or their tastes or their lifestyles, and often I think back on that, and I'm great. She gave me sort of social graces.
What are the three things you enjoy about men, and what are the three things you are annoyed?
Ooh,
Yeah,
I don't think I want to go into the annoyed part. I think I'm going to steer clear of the annoyed. Yeah, I think a sense of humor, of course, number one is the sense of humor that's shared, that you appreciate each other. I mean, I think that's really very important. And then, are they good people? I mean, to me, that's really important and kind of overlooked because you're not really seeking that out frequently. You're just usually attracted by their gifts or their talent or whatever. But I think that's important. And yeah, I mean, really, that's it for me. What do you think?
I would like to be more original, but I agree. That's a sense of humor, and before I met my current husband, I mean, I've only had two, but I thought I want to meet someone who's really kind and really a good person. And then I met Marshall, and I thought, and now I have. And he also has a very nice sense of humor, and he's an old-fashioned guy, so he's very protective, and he pulls the chair out. I mean, he's an old-fashioned gentleman.
Anything that annoys you?
So much.
And
You
talk a
see,
little.
Candy has a man in her life, but I don't. I'm the old maid of the team here.
Talk a little bit about your co-stars here, Andy and Richard.
Okay. All right. Well, Andy, number one, what a treat. I mean, I couldn't believe how brilliant he was, because with Andy, you didn't always know what you were going to get, and it was always new. His responses were new. He was creative, and he's just really very attractive. I mean, it was so easy to play with him. It was like I mean, really, it couldn't have been looser, and it couldn't have been more free form and spontaneous. And that was him. He gave me that permission. I've worked with a lot of men, and directors. Directors often come in to change things or to tell you to be, to do this as opposed to something else, and that you need to be more specific about it. But this was not the tone of my scenes. None of the scenes in the movie. It was very. I liked the way the director handled us. That's the way I felt.
I've known Richard a long time, but I saw him for the first time in many years outside of an event honoring Diane, your AFI
that's-
honor.
yeah.
And I thought, well, he would be a great choice to play whoever he played.
He was too.
Yeah. And so I asked Bill Holderman to find out, and Bill thought it was a great idea, and he was wonderful to work with. And I mean, he's such an alert, alive actor, and such a fast brain, and so I was very happy to work with Richard.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.